against herself too, because she's so lit. I don't even know who to put her up against. Her originality, she's the bomb. I want people to be blown away because I studied her. So I want people to hear songs she's written that they didn't even know she wrote. Like, I'm excited about Missy versus Missy.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Al?
I want Missy versus Missy because even with all her fame, I still think people do not understand the songwriter side of her. Because her videos, because here's the reason why I'm saying that too. Because as in front of the camera artist, she is so unique and so out there. Like when you think videos, let's go with this. When you think music videos, you gotta put Missy Elliott up there as one of the all-time greatest creatives when it comes to the videos.
Absolutely.
Right. In terms of really, there's few artists that you think of in terms of, dope songs, but also, the videos. Missy's videos was on point. So the point is that between videos and everything she's done in front, I don't think a lot of people really appreciate what she's done on the songwriting side. And I think that would be dope to show both sides of her.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will be surprised in terms of her songwriting catalog. And I think that's what she means by that. I don't think she meant it to be like, I'm all of that, can't nobody touch me. I think she wants to show the two different sides of her career, literally, and I can appreciate that. But for fun, I want to know, like, who do you think Missy should go against? Like, me personally, I think Missy should go. I don't really see a female, that could match up with her with songwriting and career. I mean, maybe Faith Evans, but I'm looking at in terms of just styles and just just crazy, like out of this worldly type content. I'm looking at her and Busta Rhymes personally.
Yeah.
I think, because I remember, when Missy and Busta were coming out with videos, it was like an event because you knew you're going to get something like otherworldly, like sci-fi style. It's, like two of the most innovative and most creative R&B / hip hop artists of our time. And that would be my vote. What about you guys?
I mean, that's so one, I totally get Busta on the artist side, because he is so innovative and he's always been just really like outlandish and crazy, so lyrically dope. But I do think when it comes to like song by song, their originality is a thing I
think we lost Jaye. Elle, go ahead. Yeah, I think we lost her for a second. So Elle, go ahead and give us your opinion on this.
I'm really trying to think because you know what? I'm gonna tell you who I would love to see: Missy Elliott versus CeeLo Green.
Wow. I
would love to see Missy Elliott versus CeeLo Green.
What? LMani's there you are. You back.
No, we lost you. We lost you, Elle. We lost you, Jaye. It's all good. CeeLo Green, that's interesting. I guess my question would be why CeeLo? Why CeeLo?
Because I'm trying to think of
really good
an artist that has that level of flamboyance and uniqueness, right? It's hard to categorize Missy Elliott. So in my mind, I'm like, what's the type of artist that also is just hard to categorize that has that flamboyance? So I was just like, yo, you know what? CeeLo Green. To me, I mean, because that's just so abstract. That's just so far out there. I'm like, I think that could work.
That's actually, Go ahead, Jaye. What were you going to say?
No, I totally agree with that because CeeLo is a vocal beast and he's an incredible songwriter. So he could actually go toe to toe with her on a lot of levels. And he's so completely original, so unique and so dope. That was a good call, LMani. I would love to see that.
Yeah. I never thought of that, but you know, you that's a great point, bro. You brought up some great points. It's funny because I think CeeLo Green is the only brother in the world who can make "Fuck You" a damn office party song.
Exactly.
Mainstream office party material.
hey, let me ask y'all a question. Did he ever still record the version of "Happy"? Because I heard if it wasn't for his tax situation, he was supposed to be the singer on Pharrell's "Happy."
Well, if he has, I've never heard the version, so
I haven't either.
You know. What up, Nicole? So, yeah, that's I really hope that they do let her do a Missy versus Missy, but I look forward to see who they pick if they do actually put up against another human being. And I just think it has to be somebody flamboyant and otherworldly. It can't be somebody from Earth. You can't. But let's keep the music thing going, man. Like recently, Brown Mark, who is Prince's former bassist, in his memoirs said that Prince owes him millions of dollars. And he also said that he would get fined if he messed up during a show playing bass, and that Prince literally had a his music director checking on all of his artists, and if they messed up in the show, they would get fined. which is kind of like, I mean, you know, that's kind of harsh. So what do y'all think? I mean, you think this is true? I don't know why he would make it up, but I mean, but with that being said, people will do anything to sell a book. I will say that. But
Prince is no longer here to defend himself.
Exactly.
You know, but I will say that that's definitely one way to incentivize perfection.
Yes.
Yes. Prince considers himself like somewhat of a not so much a student, but influenced by James Brown. A lot of the artists do, right? Your Michael Jacksons, your Princes, all that. You know, you got that rare footage of them being all on stage together. Well, that would make sense because that was the big thing with James Brown. James Brown would like demanded perfection from his band, and there was I forgot who I heard this from, but somebody was like, if one of James Brown's members screwed up in a set, he would be dancing like this and be like, and that meant, yo, we taking $5 from you. So,
no,
that's serious. That's serious. He'd be like this, and then be like,
wow.
So I'm not shocked to hear that. I like that part. I could see Prince doing. I could see that.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, you know what? Everybody has their way, had their path in the pursuit of perfection. And my thing is this: as long as he told you that's the format going in, then what are you complaining about? I mean, if he just sprung it on you out of the blue, that's something different. But if he told you when y'all met, like, yo, this is how it's gonna go, I demand perfection, and if you mess up, there will be financial consequences, then he has nothing to say. In terms of him owing him millions, you know, the one thing I always say, and I say this, you know, I know we always have a lot of like up and coming artists, is to make sure you take care of the business side of stuff in the entertainment industry. You know, there's no reason to get taken advantage of if you're up on game, you know, and we don't know if this is true or not. He's not here to defend himself. You know, I'm a big Prince fan, and, you know, I mean, I would feel sad if it was true, but I don't know. So I'm not going to, you know, not going to say, you know, lean on either side, you know, in terms of this, but I just wanted to bring it to you guys' attention now.
Well, the question is, quick, do the millions that Prince might owe him equal the millions that he needs to pay Prince back because he was messing up?
Woo! Woo! Wow! Oh no! That's a tough one. That's a tough question. But you know, with all due respect, you know, Brown Mark is a very talented and dope bassist, and he definitely had made a name for himself within the industry. a lot of people, you know, if you're not like a true Prince fan, you won't know who he is. Yeah. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, like we were saying, Prince is not here to defend himself. Right. But you know, I did want to, you know, speak about this in terms of possibly being a cautionary tale for other up and coming creatives, and not just in the music industry, in any type of endeavor within the entertainment industry. So, yes. All right, here's a subject I really don't feel like talking about tonight, and that is the NBA Finals. I am a Miami Heat fan. All right, I am. You know, and I mean, I ain't gonna front. The Lakers, they're putting it on us as we speak. I just turned on the TV, and but what I will say, it's not over. But I know you guys are basketball fans. Any thoughts on this series? I mean, don't worry about hurting my feelings. If you think the Lakers are going to sweep them, that's what you think. But
I just want you to tell everybody watching why you and all of your purple and gold. I need them to understand why you are a Miami Heat fan and not a Lakers fan.
Oh, because, you know, Miami got the most Qs. You know, exactly. They got Alonzo Mourning, you know, they used to have Shaq, you know what I'm saying? So I go with, at this point, the NBA players, they move around too much. So I just go with the team that I can identify with literally more personally. And since the days of Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway, it's been the Miami Heat. So
but wait a second, Letty, because I got on quick about this a few years back. He may know where I'm going with it. I was like, ain't this something? I was like, you a Q, but your favorite football team wears black and gold, and their coaches are new.
Oh my God. But look, remember what I told you about teams that I can identify with personally? Yeah. Well, one of my cousins is a Hall of Fame football player for the Steelers, John Stallworth.
Wow.
Yeah, so you know, I grew up wearing 82 playing football, so that was my thing, you know. So you know, it is what it is, you know. But yeah, I remember that. I remember that conversation, my brother.
Now he's rocking red, you know, Miami red and white.
Yeah, no.
But listen. One of the most popular shows on TV right now that everybody's talking about, everybody's you know buzzing about, is Lovecraft Country.
Yeah.
And we have a special guest who appeared in this past week's episode, which has been, you know, tapped as possibly and arguably the best episode of the year. So let's bring on the lovely, talented dancer, actor, and yogi.
Yes.
Sharron Lynn. What up, Sharron?
Hey, what's going on? It's Sharron, by the way. It's Sharron.
Sharron, okay. I wasn't sure.
Common. Don't feel bad because that's a common mistake. It's all good.
Yeah, Sharron. I like that. Sharron Lynn.
Yes. Hey, everybody.
How are you?
Yes.
So for those who don't know, Sharron is a very talented actor / dancer / yogi. You know, she's appeared obviously, you know, in Lovecraft, but she's also appeared in Scream 5. My favorite, and this is where I know her from, The Lion King on Broadway. Wow. And you know, she's appeared in all types of like print ads and things of that nature over the years. And so I guess my question to you, Sharron, number one, what steered you to this industry? And number two, tell us a little bit about your journey and what has been like coming, you know, some of the hardest things you'd have to go through in order to get to where you're at today.
Yeah. Well, my entire career has been mostly as a dancer. I went to arts high schools. I trained at Ailey. I performed in Ailey too. And so my first experience with The Lion King was on the national tour. And I started working with some of the principal actors and doing readings of plays. And that's when I realized that I loved acting. I'm like, wow, this is a lot of fun. I was in my late 20s, actually. Mm-hmm. Not too long ago. Okay.
Of course.
About 5 minutes ago. So, and then I was like, you know what? I took a 2-month leave of absence from the tour, and I went to New York. I'm not in New York right now, but I went to New York. And I did some scene study training, some improv training, commercial training, just to see if I loved it, to give myself a game plan when I left the tour. Came to New York, I was like, this is what I want to do. So I went to the Playhouse. I studied Meisner. I kind of started to seek out some of the best teachers and training. And because as a dancer, like it took me a while to consider myself an actor. As a dancer, you train so hard. You put in clock hours, so many years before you reach a level of professionalism. So I didn't take that lightly. And you know, the hardest thing is that you hear no all the time. You're basically going on job interviews all the time. And so it's really like where things started to get sweet was when the mindset shifted. Like not being like thirsty, hungry, always, never thirsty, you know, and like knowing that there's a place for you, was for you, is for you, you're deserving. There's so many opportunities. And when you start thinking in that way of abundance, that mindset of abundance, then things just start flowing. So I think the most challenging thing is that like when you're working the survival jobs and you're bartending and you're hustling and teaching here, is you don't know when the next thing is going to come. And you're, like I said, you're always auditioning. But then you shift that mindset and, you know, and it's work. It's everyday work, that part. But I would say that's probably the most challenging part. Yeah.
Speaking of challenges, you know, with this whole pandemic going on and all the, you know, the social distancing and the isolation, how has it impacted your industry and your journey?
Well, I was in The Lion King when the shutdown happened. So I was there for the very last show. Like I saw the audience thin. Like Lion King is one of those shows, thank God, that the audiences are always full. It's always been like, you know, no lack of barely any empty seats. And so to look out and to see it empty, it was like, okay, this is real. You know, it was like Armageddon. It was crazy. And so we thought it was going to be a short thing. You know what I mean? Like it's going to come back. Okay, we'll be back in like a month or two. And then it kept getting extended and press releases kept coming out and, you know, it's going to come back later and later and later. And then you don't know, casting offices are closed, auditions are closed down, sets are closed, productions are closed. And so just not knowing when the next thing is going to come. So it's like, and now we have acting classes over Zoom when it's a human connection kind of thing, you know? But then it's like, you're going to do it or you're not. Like, you're going to stay in the craft or you're not. And so I decided to stay in the classes. I mean, honestly, it was depressing. It was really dark for me in the beginning. It was, you know, in full transparency. Like, the shit was dark. It was dark. It was dark. And then I got a good therapist. And then I was like, no. We're not going out like this.
Exactly.
And so I was like, you know, and I know that from challenge comes great reward if we use it right.
Yes.
And so I was like, this is a time to heal. This is a time to really like go within. This is a time to gain clarity. You know what I'm saying? And so, and then it's been a blessing. I came down to Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta right now. And then it's been divinely ordered. It's been great.
Wow.
You know?
That's awesome. Yeah. You guys have any questions?
Girl, you are radiating. So I am
thank you, sis. Thank you.
I love supporting and connecting my fellow melanin goddesses. And I just commend you because I know how tough it is to be a Black woman in the entertainment industry in general, especially in acting. And so I just think it's wonderful that you are out here representing for us. And I thank you. I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I actually have a question. So my full time is I'm an educator, and I teach on the high school level. I have, and actually I keep in contact and I mentor. One of the things I've always done is throughout all my life is mentor my former students, even after they graduate from high school. So interestingly enough, right now I have 2 young Black women. They just both graduated from high school, and they're in college. One is actually pursuing dance, and the other one is pursuing film. So my question to you is, being that you are in both areas, what is some advice that I can give them to help them along their journey? And also, what is some advice I can give them on the best way to seek a mentor? Because, you know, I'm limited in what I can do. But what is the best advice I can get to have them seek a mentor for them to go into or to be able to expand in the field?
Yeah, it's interesting that you asked that, because I was actually just looking at it. Someone caught a photo of me talking to Ingenue Ellis on set. And I was like, I'm gonna have to find a moment to talk to her. Like, she's too major and too legendary for me to be working with, to not like ask her some kind of advice. Like, people love to share. And there's a picture, half her face is cut off, but you can still tell it's Ingenue. I'm gonna post it one of these days, right?
Yes, please do.
She was so ready and willing to share. So I would say, if they find someone that they admire, reach out and ask.
Okay.
DM, send an email, find their information, let them know I'm seeking a mentor. I have questions about this. This is what I'm doing. You know, because you'd be surprised. I mean, if you don't speak up, no one will ever know. You know, I've mentored young girls, I still do. But I'd say, find someone that they really admire, that has a career that they see themselves in.
Okay.
And then reach out to them. And there are plenty of people out there. Now we have access to people. You know, you can message people and ask for advice. I get people asking for advice all the time. I respond when I can, but I love to share, you know what I mean? Especially someone of a younger generation.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And I'm always going to be doing that, like asking, you know, and Ingenue dropped some jewels. She very, very, you know, very like small, like it wasn't a long, elaborate conversation, but what she gave me, I'm holding it here. You know what I mean? Because she meant what she said. And I admire that so much. She wanted to share, you know?
That's what's
it's
up.
like when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Gotcha.
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's funny. When I met you, the one thing I remember about meeting you is that, you know, you emanated light. You emanated light. And one thing about me, and this is why I have the people around me right now that you're looking at, I'm big on vibe. I'm big on good energy. And you, every time I've ran into you, you've always have that positive energy. So it doesn't surprise me that you have mentored kids and whatever. But what I want to talk about is this past Sunday's episode of Lovecraft Country was incredible. Yeah. And so I'm sitting on my couch, and you know, the whole scene with Josephine Baker comes on, and you know, I'm like, oh, these girls are fine, whatever. Then I look up, I was like, wait a minute, that's Sharron Lynn. Like, yo, I literally screamed, and you are right next to homegirl. I was like, wow. So
I was in it, bro, and I was screaming. I was like, oh my gosh.
I had to pause it and take a picture, post it. But all I have to say is, you know, the audience wants to know what was that experience like, working with one of the hottest shows in the land right now?
I didn't know at the time. You know, I knew Jordan Peele was attached. I knew Misha Green was the creator, but I didn't. I mean, you don't know something's going to be as big as it is until it comes out. You know, I didn't know. All I knew is that I was going on an HBO show, and it was Jordan Peele executive produced and written by a Black woman, and I got to work in this French accent. I was, you know, brought down from New York, and when I auditioned, I didn't audition with a French accent. And I was like, yo, I'm reading the script. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I have to. If we're in Paris, I have to. Yeah. They got me a dialect coach. Not easy, by the way. Like, I never worked in a French accent. I was like, oh, film is forever. I'm gonna have to figure this out. So I'm in my hotel room at night, like YouTube videos. I'm like, I will not. I sounded a little Haitian at first, which is fine, but there's a difference. I was like, sis, you gotta figure this out, Sean. Figure this out. And so it was amazing. Like, we rehearsed, and the energy was so good, and the choreographers, Jacob Kraft and Draco, and the director was lovely, and the woman who played Josephine is fantastic, and it was just a great team. And it was. Ingenue was extremely generous. She was doing so much. Like, she had a sprained ankle when we were working, and it's just not glamorous. Like, she's going from this to that rehearsal, Ingenue rehearsal. Freaking costume, this, that, like, she's needed everywhere, you know what I mean? And she's limping, and she's coming to a dance rehearsal, and then, you know what I mean? So like, but she was like, no, you need to really give it to me. You need to really push me. And I'm like, but your ankle's like tweaked, you know? And so it was amazing. It was amazing. And before we got down there, we knew that there was going to be partial nudity with the boobs out and everything. They were so excellent in the way that they handled it. Like, we have intimacy coordinators, which is a new position And productions now.
Hold on. Let me pause. Let's pause right there. Intimacy coordinators, what's their responsibility?
So basically, they are responsible if there's any nudity or sex scenes or anything that requires intimacy or exposure. They're there to advocate for the actors and to make sure everyone feels comfortable. Yeah.
Wow, that is
and
amazing.
So yeah, it's a newer position in the industry. You hear mixed things about it. I had a great experience with it.
Yeah.
And the director called me in New York before I even got to Atlanta. I just want you to know, we're not just having boobs out for the sake of having them out. This is going to be very tasteful. And it was. It was a closed set, so every time we had to reveal, they had everyone leave. Like, it was wonderful. It was liberating. It was fun.
The scene was so powerful. I didn't even notice until I actually watched it again. I was like, oh, okay. That scene was powerful. It really was. It really was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm honored. I'm honored.
Well,
hopefully, prayerfully, more to come.
Well, absolutely. But before you go, I did want to, we've talked about your acting, we've talked about your dancing, but I definitely want to give you a chance to explain this whole yoga thing that you got going on. So I'm gonna give you the floor and just explain and everything, and because we support Black business, and just let us know what it is.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So on my birthday last year, 11/11, I started a lifestyle brand, a yoga channel and a lifestyle brand called Breathe Flow Be. And basically, I was drawn into yoga years ago, but I was drawn to go study in India about 3 years ago to get certified in India. And it's been so powerful and so transformative for me that I wanted to share it. And being a Black woman, I'm like, there aren't too many Black women on YouTube with sharing, teaching classes. So I wanted, first of all, I started like, okay, maybe if I put videos out, my family will do it, my parents will do it. And then I'm like, I want more Black people to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, to get in yoga and to enjoy the benefits and the magic of it, really, because it's been so transformative. It's a part of my everyday practice. It's what I live. So I started the channel. And then this year, really in the pandemic, like once I got into that mind state of abundance that I was talking about, things started flowing. And I got approached to do a TikTok partnership. So right now I'm in partnership with TikTok through the end of October.
Wow.
And every week I release tons of tutorials on there. I'm getting hundreds of followers every day. And everyone's like, oh my God, it's like finally a Black woman. People are coming over to YouTube.
So
and so there's going to be a lot more coming up. I'm working on a lot of content and events. We had our first event at Lululemon Soho, right before the pandemic. And so there's some virtual things coming up. It's just something I want to share. It's something, I love yoga, and there's going to be some things coming up going into the new year to help get us in the right mental and spiritual space. Anyone who's interested on my channel, I'll be announcing that on my birthday of this year, 11/11 again. There's going to be a lot of, I'm planning for a lot of stuff. So it's a part of my philanthropic work, my service.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Sharron Lynn, on behalf of the Soul Blerds class, we just want to thank you for coming on and sharing your experiences, sharing what you love, your passion, and we appreciate you, sis. So just keep.
Thank you. And I'm from Miami too, so Miami fan. I heard that.
That's okay. It's one game. It's all good. It doesn't matter whether we lose by 1 or 100. It's still one game.
Right. It's true. It's just one.
We're gonna keep it going. But
thank you for having me.
No, it was definitely an honor, and we will definitely support you, sis. All right.
Thank you. Peace, y'all.
All right, we'll see you later. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Where are you at? I'm trying to get you out of here. Hold up. I think I get you. Oh, there you. Okay. So that was fun, yo. She's dope. She's the definition of what you call a dope chick. Like, real talk. Like, she's just good people, and I'm just glad to see good people win. You know what I mean?
That's the truth.
But it's 11:34, so it's around that time we talk about what's going down, with Black Lives Matter and everything, and we cannot discuss anything related to Black Lives Matter tonight unless we discuss Mr. President's refusal to denounce, the white supremacist groups. And what was his quote last night? stand back and stand by. To the what were they? The Proud Boys. And, yo, I was on my Facebook page today, and some clown, I'm not going to name his name, a couple clowns, say, "Oh, they're not a racist group." I'm like, I don't even have the energy at this point. It's crazy, man. So what did y'all think about your president refusing to
my president?
I was going to say that's not my
president. I say my president. Y'all,
Mommy, you take this one because I don't have the energy. Right?
So what do you think about Donald Trump?
That's better.
Refusal to denounce white supremacist groups.
LMani.
So I'm trying to get the mental energy up for actually I'm going to write a blog on this about actually that moment being the reason why I believe they need to cancel the rest of the debates.
Yeah.
Now, him not denouncing white supremacy, I'm not shocked by that. That is nothing new.
Nope, it's not.
The problem with the standby is this. I'm actually not concerned about the Proud Boys or any large mass white supremacist group. That whatever with that. The problem is that the green light has been given to the independent white ideologue. What's been consistent in American history when you talk about domestic terrorism, post-lynchings, are rogue ideologue white males. I'm not worried about Proud Boys. I'm worried about the Dylan Roof that's in the Proud Boys. I'm not worried about Proud Boys. I'm worried about the Timothy McVeigh that's in the Proud Boys. I'm worried about the Dylan Klebold's. I'm worried about I forgot his name that committed the Las Vegas shooting and shot and killed 50 people from afar. That's my concern. Is those individual ones that are within these groups that see Trump as their leader. They're not Republicans, right? This is not political. This is cult level.
Yes.
This is true ideologue. That's what scares me. And the last part I'm going to say on this is that, look, it's looking bad politically for Trump. And the irony, too, about Joe Biden calling him a clown is that he's not wrong.
No, right?
Okay. But this is where we need to be scared.
Yeah.
Is really, if you look at his temperament, the clown he best relates to is actually the Joker. And when you talk about
yes, that's true.
Because two things. One, his disregard for life. He has no care. I mean, if you caught the thing that he said about Beau Biden, he was like, "Who is that?" You talk about disregard. Yeah. So that's number one. And then number two, if you remember in what was it, Batman? What was it, The Dark Knight, right? Mm-hmm. In The Dark Knight Returns. When you remember that, what does Batman say to all the mobs? You guys, the ones that let him off the leash, right? Mm-hmm. The Republican Party at first didn't want nothing to do with Donald Trump.
Yep.
But the moment he became president, they're like, "Oh, we're going to use him. They're going to use him." And now look at what's happening. He's become uncontrollable. He's not Republican. He doesn't care about the Republican Party. No. He cares about him, and it's showing. And he has a movement behind him that has and will continue to do very violent things. And the worse it gets, and I think the reason why I'm saying cancel the rest of the debates, because the worse it gets, the more he's going to forget the dog whistle. He's going to call in that bullhorn. Yeah. And I feel somebody's going to pay with their life.
Yeah. What you think, Jack?
I gave LMani my chance because I am so over Trump. Like he made a mockery of the debate before he got elected. He continues to make a mockery of his position in office. I am honestly, I said it in our last podcast, I'm exhausted by his very existence. I have his face on a boxing punching bag, so when players lose a match, they can go and punch the shit out of it. And it's great. It's a great relief.
Yeah.
I am so done. Like, I just am. I am. And I would love for them to not, I would love for the debates to not even exist. I don't even think there are a lot of preemptive things you can do to be knowledgeable before you go to have a debate about maintaining arguably the most important position in the free world. And he just continues to show how nonchalant, how indifferent he is on every position that is so significant. He literally, it's like, honestly, it's like spitting in the face, in my opinion, namely of every person of color, because he's like, you're not my focus. I'm not concerned about you. You can stand by and you can watch. You can watch me do what I do and watch me get reelected. And if I don't, I might not leave peacefully. Like, all of these things that he continues to say and spew out, it's just like, I'm just looking like.
Hey, quick. You know what it is? It really shows you how deeply intrinsic the American system
Speak on it.
On white male mediocrity to thrive is.
Yeah.
Because nobody else, no other demographic would even be around to do what it is. And so you're seeing the extent, you're seeing the extent, the extreme to which white male mediocrity, when it's in your face, is allowed to thrive.
Yeah.
It was supported and is supported.
Yeah.
And is empowered and prolonged and encouraged.
Yeah.
All of those things.
It's crazy. Like, literally, my immediate feelings as I'm watching this were of embarrassment, astonishment, and at some point, anger and sadness. Like, we went from one of the most regal presidents we've ever seen to this petulant child. So I don't want to take this show into a dark place. Yeah. So what I will do, I'll play a clip from the debate to maybe put a smile on your face.
Now everybody from the 313, put your motherfucking hands up and follow me. Everybody from the 313, put your motherfucking hands up. Look. Now while he stands tough, notice that this man did not have his hands up. The free world's got you gassed up. Now who's afraid of the big bad boy?
Yeah, I couldn't resist it. I saw that, man. My sister, big up to my sister in West Virginia, Sanji, love you. She tagged me on that, man. I about fell out. I was like, so let's pivot, since we are, we're in the middle of Black Lives Matter. People are still stunned, hurt, angered by this lack of justice. In terms of the Breonna Taylor case. And of course, one of my favorite shows on TV is the NBA Tonight on TNT. And one of the hosts got in a lot of hot water over something that he said. So let's check it out.
That her boyfriend did shoot at the cop and shot a cop. So like I say, even though I'm really sorry she lost her life, I don't think that we can just say we can put this in the same situation with George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery. I just don't believe that.
Wow.
Yeah, he said that on national TV. So I'm going to start with you, our lovely lady, our queen, Letter J. What did you think about that?
I can't help but naturally be like a little offended. as a Black woman, because you're talking about her boyfriend who also matters, but let's get to the fact that no one was charged for anything but bullets that hit somewhere else. I'm like, how does she just become so completely discredited? How is her life, because she was in a crossfire? Does that diminish the value of her life at all? There are so many things that, look, my answer for so many of these things, LMani, you said it, I said it in our last podcast. There are so many systematic issues here that are just so ingrained in the nucleus of this country. And as a result, every judgment that happens is directly tied into the decision making. So it doesn't matter what position of authority a person is in. If you're the defense attorney, you are in cahoots, by the way, with the police officers and the authorities. And so no one is focusing on everybody. All these businesses have signs that say Black Lives Matter. And you know what? I'm so sick of it, because you just want Black people to continue spending money. Because if there's anything this quarantine showed, it's just how valuable our demographic really is to the capitalistic society we live in. Our dollars matter. So Black lives don't actually matter, but Black dollars matter. And so all of that, because the truth is, if Black lives matter, you watch Toby, you watched Harper, like an old magazine, Harper's magazine, like so many magazines, I don't even know the name of them, that used her likeness to get people to buy the magazines and to say, oh, they're pro-Black life and Black people and all of this. And then when it came down to what actually mattered, her mom was paid off and says, here you go, this is more money than you'll ever make. And her life actually doesn't really matter, because we're not going to even honor it in any way. So for Charles to be so minuscule and to utter a statement so haphazardly, it's like, Charles, come on, bro. We have to do better. You can't even that's a Freudian slip that should never come out of your mouth.
Yeah, I agree. Elle, what you think?
He's an idiot. You know what? He's an idiot, but I think it speaks to something that happens in this society with us. We are not given the benefit of the doubt, right? And what hurts even more is when our own people don't give us in these situations the benefit of the doubt. And that reinforces, and the other thing is, it reinforces this, you know what, we can say this, we've been in an abusive relationship with America, right? Still are. And when you're in an abusive relationship, what unfortunately happens is that the victims are often the ones that are blamed for the abuse. So what was Barkley doing? Putting a blame on the victim. Yeah. So you're not getting the benefit of the doubt. You know, look, he's an idiot, and he's done that before. Sometimes he'll say something dope, and I'll be like, "Oh, okay," and then he comes out with stupid stuff like this.
You know what? I think about. Okay, so you, Black men, victimized, preyed upon, targeted, right?
Right.
In your bed with the woman that you will most likely die for. You are her protector, her provider. You are, right? And all of a sudden, you hear ruckus. You legally have the right to carry a gun. At what point do you, Black men who were victimized, targeted, preyed upon by this nation and society, at what point do you not grab that gun to protect yourself while you're sleeping and your woman who you're holding while you're sleeping? Is this not an innate reaction? Yes, and I would like to know, what about that scenario is not applicable to Charles Barkley? Because I'm like, realistically, bro, put yourself in that situation. Minus whatever you did through, bless you, basketball and opportunities you were afforded. Put yourself in that man's position. The dude, it didn't even have an illegal firearm. So someone does not announce themselves, but you got all this evidence showing body cams and everything, which was lied upon and hid upon before. So this is a fair playing field. You are here to protect, and you know that man said, "Who is it?" Okay, and so then you don't announce yourself. You probably in the hood somewhere. I'm just trying to understand the rationale behind it. Like, are you so far removed from your blackness that you forgot what it means to be black in the world we live in?
You know, he said something slick about black women in the past. I remember one particular occasion he was donating $11 million to for black women in Alabama for startup businesses, and then he was like, "Oh, but don't be opening up no hair salons and all that." It was just really like kind of disrespectful. But this was just, you know, just another level of disrespect. And and the main thing that I noticed is that I feel like he didn't even, you know, for you to speak out on such a high profile case, he didn't know the facts of the case at all. It was unbelievable.
LMani, go.
That and listen, that right there, I'm tired of people, not just like Charles Barkley, but this so-called woke nation that got these damn opinions that they trying to spit as facts, and they don't know shit. I'm done with them. Because it's like this. If you build a house, it's like this. It's like this. If some dude does not understand records and they rearrange your records in the wrong covers, you know, you and I know how long it's going to take to really rearrange. You're going to be spending time, and that's the problem. People are given these dangerous platforms. They spit their misinformation, and then people that know the real deal, that's already carrying everything else on them, gotta go back and undo the damage. And that's the thing.
Right.
And that's the problem with celebrities sometimes.
Yeah. Yep.
It is.
It's exhausting. It's definitely exhausting. So you know what? No, we gotta bring back the light to the show, man. Because so let's get into some music, man. So we have this segment called The Medicine, and basically what we do is all of us, you know, us Soul Blerds, we're lovers of music, and what we do is we're going to give you some artists that you may or may not have ever heard of, and we're going to play those songs, a little bit of the songs, and we'll talk about why you should be listening to this artist and this and the other. So ladies first, of course. So Letter Jaye, I'm gonna throw in this joint. I'm gonna let you just speak on it because this is your boy, and I just think it's a dope track.
Better go cross my T's, better go down my eyes. I don't want to tell no lies, wonder what it's gonna be. I don't want to send no lane, I don't want to sell my soul, I don't want to leave my team. Wondering about me, I don't want my girl stressing, but I know I want blessings. I've been working so hard at it, am I gonna learn my lessons? I don't want to look up in the mirror lately, might just get confused by who's staring back at me. Feel me, baby, we could make a movie, only starring you and me. You could play my new shit on repeat, then girl, we could hit the sheets. Baby, rub my hair while you tell me it gets better, cause I've been so doubted, will I ever get my head up? I'll get out of bed up, quarter to September, hope that I remember.
Bad Modius. Listen, we have Music Mondays at our game day. And he was so many of our members. And so I hit him up on Instagram, you know, but I checked out his music. I was like, oh, this dude is nice. And at first I was confused because I heard this dude like spitting bars. And I was like, yo, this rapper is crazy. And then I heard another song and I was like, yo, this singer's crazy, but who is it? He doesn't have a feature. And they were both him. And I was like, oh my God, this dude is so nasty. And when I met him, he performed his ass off. I'm talking just like a natural performer. He was seasoned. He had presence. He had poise. He had all of the things. I'm like, bro, I'm finna sign this. I was
like, that's what's up. That's what's up. So tell them the IG, how they can reach him.
Yeah,
check out his music.
Everything is Spazmodius, SPAZZ Modius, MODIUS, and MIDOUS. He's definitely tagged on Coexist Gaming on our page because I just really love supporting him. Every time he comes through, his energy is beautiful. You know, he's from the Bronx. He literally comes to Brooklyn multiple days a week just to connect and to be around other people that are like-minded, that are artists. And I just really love supporting people that are truly talented, that have the kind of energy to stay humble and stay working. And he's that guy, you know, he's got a crazy catalog. He stays working. He goes in, he grinds hard. And I expect to see really great things from him.
All right. That's dope. That's dope. So I'll keep that artist in mind. But right now we got LMani's pick. And I'm just going to play this joint. Woo! Yes. Grown folks music.
Everywhere I look around, I see Mr. B. The birth of man in front of me, yeah. Every song, but so, oh no. Yeah, never. I wanna soak it up to the top, taking in everything. My mom and dad decided.
So, LMani, tell us who this is. Why we should be checking for him.
This is the legendary Omar.
Okay.
Omar Lefouk out of London. He's very well known in London, but he's once again one of those artists that is still, even in the States, a lot of people don't know of, but yet just album after album after album. And he's done, and the thing is, he's one of those artists because like artists know him. Stevie Wonder is a big fan of his.
Wow.
Yeah, and he has a song that I consider like the Black Father anthem. He got a song called The Man. That is just like dope. But yeah, I'm a big fan. You can find Omar, just put in Omar Lefouk on Instagram. And by the way, he's mad personable. So share this one quick moment. So I was on Twitch last week with DJ Miss Her, and she was doing just fell into an Omar set. So I went on Instagram and I hit Omar on Messenger. I said, yo, doing a tribute set to you. Yo, do you know he came into the Twitch group?
Wow.
And it just took it up like to 1,000.
That's dope.
So yeah, he's mad humble, mad personable, really great dude, but an amazing artist. If people looking for real dope soul music, check out Omar.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, y'all. It's my turn.
Hey, this is Raish, and you're in the mix with my big bro, superhero DJ John Quick on 107.5 WBLS.
Her name is Raish. Check out the checks, baby.
Text from you came through on my phone. That took way too long. I was wondering, where did you go? I thought we were doing great. Hey, some days you call me up. We both get lost in love land. Ooh, but sometimes you just get so cold. I'm sleeping with a stranger. I don't know what I'm dealing with.
She's a young girl. Raish is like 23 years old. Out of she's from Massachusetts. And the record's called Pick a Side. She's just a young, old soul. That's the best way I can put it. And I love the fact that her voice sounds so unique. She doesn't sound like all these other chicks on the radio right now. She has her own lane. She sounds different. And even though she's young, her tracks, as you can hear, have an old school feel to them. And this is definitely an artist that you should be looking out for. Her name is Raiche. It's Raiche on Instagram. So just check her out. She's a good kid, and I'm just cheering for her because she really takes her craft seriously, and she always pays homage to the ones that came before her, y'all. So that's it for the medicine. So it's about that time. We got a few more minutes, so let's get into LMani's world. LMani, what's on your mind today, man?
Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
You're muted. We can't hear you.
All right. Can you hear me now?
There you go. Yeah.
Yo, what's on my mind? Look, to anybody that's a parent, please stop thinking that just because your child goes to high school, you don't have to micromanage part of their life. I've had to do a couple of investigations on students' social medias. And just unfortunately, the stuff that I've seen, like you're talking about 13, 14-year-old kids posting publicly. It's a trip. And it's not a little bit here, not a little bit there. And I even wish I can just say, oh, it's bullying stuff. Nah, it's stuff that they won't be able to go to college if a college.
Wow. Oh my God.
And what I'm trying to explain to parents is that no, they're still children. You still got to give some sort of management. And last thing I'll say on that is that's the thing I've seen that's really hurt a lot of kids in terms of tripping them up once they get into high school is the parents go totally hands off. And it's like, you can let go a little bit, but no, you still just know what they posting. Yeah. Like, look, my son's 15. I still check his Instagram just every once in a while. I just want to make sure, right? And it's not about getting him in trouble. It's about saying, I'd rather you get in trouble with me because we can control that trouble. I'm your dad. That's dad trouble. I don't want you in trouble in terms of losing a scholarship.
Exactly.
Later on. So yeah, that's my world. Like parents gotta at any time when they just turning 14, going in 9th grade, to just totally let them go. Like chill with that.
I like that. All right, well said, my brother. So right now we're gonna get into some gameplay with Letter J. Letter J, what's on your mind?
Oh my God! So this week is so exciting because I don't know if y'all heard about this, but Microsoft, who is literally changing the game, they changed it for real with a $7.5 billion cash purchase of Bethesda. Actually, their parent company is ZeniMax. Okay, this is massive. 7.5 billion with a B, cash purchase. So this is massive for gaming because along with the acquisition came 3 huge gaming titles. So there's like Fallout, which is a post-apocalyptic game.
Yeah,
Fallout, no doubt.
Elder Scrolls, it was a fantasy series, and then like Doom, which is a shooting game.
Doom is classic.
Yeah, Doom is one of them classic.
But look, the merger. So it not only grew their development studio, right? It gave them control of the gaming industry's most popular franchises, and so now they're like in development. There's some games that are in development. Okay, so like Death Loops and then the Ghostwire Tokyo, which were exclusively being developed, or at least initially for PlayStation. So Phil Spencer, I am a massive fan. I call him the visionary, the CEO of Microsoft. He's even honoring the timed exclusive. These games have not been yet released, but the exclusive says they're going to be on PlayStation first. He just acquired this company, but it's still going to honor them being on PlayStation first. And the time exclusive can be 3 months, sometimes half a year, sometimes a full year. And then he gets to retain exclusivity of all of the newly acquired and like soon coming titles. But this also is a week. This is like basically the week before the November launch of their next game console, the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series. And this is what's exciting for me. So Phil Spencer, CEO of Microsoft, creator of Game Pass, which, you know, if you don't, you literally get over 100 games for $14.99. So he essentially introduced a subscription comparable to Netflix, if you will, for gaming that literally revolutionized the industry. Because of that, he's not even looking like everyone's like, oh, you know, Xbox, PlayStation. He's not even looking at Sony as real competition because Sony's only focused on selling consoles and we're beyond the console game. So Microsoft is focused on Amazon and who's, you know, focused on cloud gaming on Google with their Stadia game. So these are like real players, right, in this $1 trillion net worth industry that are truly changing the game because it's much bigger even than just who's got the dopest system, who's got the dopest console. What I love so much about Phil, and I feel like I liken my CEO-ship with my gaming company to his mentality is he understands the power of the people and of building a community. And he does things like he just gets it, you know, like honoring that time exclusive is a big deal. You know, because you're still giving that PlayStation head something that they want, right? For a limited time, because the goal is I'm gonna get y'all on a platform we want you on because this is gonna be available here. It was just a very brilliant strategic move and purchase on his part. And so shout out to Microsoft in this massive acquisition. Yeah, hot girl on Game Pass, Master Storm, what's good?
That's what's up. Okay, thanks for that, Jay. All right, so it's time for cutting it up real quick. What's on my mind? You know, this weekend I did events for the HBCU that I grew up on the campus of, West Virginia State University, and I also did a couple of events for the National Council of Negro Women. And the one theme that kept coming back during these events, which is, you know, kind of relative to what we were talking about earlier tonight, is Black people, we have to come out in masses and vote. We really do. Please, if you don't do nothing else for the rest of the year, come out the house and vote, because especially after watching the debacle that we watched last night, I mean, there's no way I want another 4 years of that clown, like literally. So I'm just, you know, the main thing that's on my mind tonight is just, I hope everybody is not going to do like 2016 and kind of take him for granted. No, we need to get out and vote, and I'm hoping that all of you guys will. So that's what I wanted to wax poetically about. But anyway, we ran a little over tonight, but that's okay. I just want to say goodbye. You guys having any parting shots that you want to shout out before we get out of here?
Don't get mad at me, but I do want to say this. I want to ask you both a question. And LMani, you got to make it faster because you be talking mad slow. I want to ask y'all this. This is a real thing. Because I feel like the millennial generation and Gen Z, we talk about why does it matter if you vote? Now, of course, we understand, right? It matters, right? But when 3 million people voted not to have this fool in office, what would you give? What advice would you give to the generations, you know, under you guys that are like struggling with feeling relevant enough for their vote to matter, especially when he's up here trying to fuck up the ballot and do everything to keep it from being honest and keep it from being accurate? How do you what would you say to make them feel like your vote matters? It matters for you to get up at 5 or 6 in the morning and go out and stand in that line when, like, what would you say, all things considered?
You go first, Al.
Number one, when you vote, look at it as if you're lending money to someone. You're lending money to someone. Guess what that means? They owe you. Your vote is a beginning, not the end. So, Jay, let's take you, and I'm gonna make this quick. You vote for XYZ president, congressman. They get in. You want to see better policy for Black gaming companies. You voted for them. they owe you. They owe you a seat at their table. They owe you their ear. If you want to present policy, you present the policy. You present to say, all these people behind me that are Black gamers voted for you. You owe us. We want this pushed into policy. See, it's vote, then lobby, then policy. Yep. So how does it work for the millennials? When you vote, they owe you. You lent the money. Now make it do.
Absolutely. Excuse me. So what I would say, wow, it's funny that you say that, because actually one of my good friends, and she's considered a millennial. I remember her posting one day that she just didn't want to vote and she didn't like any other candidates. What I would really, really stress to our younger voters is that it's not always all about the president, because the most important votes that you're going to cast are going to come from your local elections. All right. Because these are the ones that have your personal interests at heart. And these are your representatives. The president isn't your representative. These are your local politicians are your representatives. And that's the most important thing to vote on. You said, like, hey, we had 3 million people vote against him. He still got an office. Yeah, that's because of that whole, electoral college. That's why it's so important, again, to vote locally, because if we have the majority seats in the House and the Senate, that dude, whoever's in there, they could do whatever. But at the end of the day, those laws are going to get passed, if the interests are aligned. So that's what I would say, definitely don't look at it as just a presidential election. Look at it as like, no, I got to make sure, like, all the way down the line from the Congress to the House, all of that. We have to get our people that are most aligned with us. That's
excellent. So then, to that point, please, and this is for me as well, I would love it if we could put some resources out there, like links or whatever, that help people better understand who are the local people, who's speaking, where can I find it so that I know what to plan for.
There is an app created by a Black brother that actually addresses everything you just said. I'm gonna find out about it, and then we're gonna present it for next. And
send me that because I need that app.
And also, what I want to do really quick, I wanted to share that I got contacted today by Yolanda Rogers Housey. She's a member of Delta Sigma Theta, and she's the founder and co-founder and president of it's called SIS, Stepping into Service. It's a whole movement for D9 Greeks. They're going to have like undergraduate and graduate step shows. But here's the thing. It's all about, the theme has to be about voting. The theme has to be about voting. And guess who her co-founder is? And they both want to appear on the show. Her co-founder is Keisha Knight Pullen.
Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy. So I wanted to surprise y'all, but on October 14th, 2 weeks from the night, we will have Rudy and Yolanda come on and speak about their initiative and trying to get young people to come out and vote. So this is going to be awesome. It's going to be historic. So everybody who's listening, be sure to share that Soul Blerds link and everything, and we're gonna get it popping next week, y'all. All right. Next week we got DJ Scratch. All right. Hey. DJ Scratch is gonna come in the building. He's a true visionary with a Scratch vision, and he's definitely down for the cause in terms of voting and things of the nature. So until next time, peace, y'all.
You're listening to Soul Blerds After Dark with letter Jaye, LMani, Viney, and superhero DJ John Quick.
DJ